StarShip Adventures, and I'm live right now in Helen, Georgia. One of my favorite places up here. It's kind of a tourist town, if you will, but it's also a really cool place. It's a place that I've been coming to since I was a child, and it's up in the North Georgia mountains, way up high in the mountains, and the entire town is like an Alpine town. It's pretty cool. It's actually a deed-restricted town, meaning that each structure that's built has to be approved by a committee to fit the motif of the Alpine town, if you will. So I think it's kind of cool. If you want to build a business here, you want to build a business, a building here, whatever, it has to meet the deed restrictions and it has to look like an Alpine town. And so what they've got here is a great little tourist mecca. I just paid $10 just to park. So they make money here. It's hand over fist. They've got everything here from candle making shops to fudge shops. And we're going to show you a lot of different shops and different things here to see in Helen, Georgia. Now, if this was summertime, there would be rafters going down here right now. There's rafting places where you go get on the bus and they drive you up the rapids of about 10 miles or so. And then they put you in the water with an inner tube and you float your way back down. This water is always too cold for my you-know-what to be in it. So there you go. I'd have to wear a wetsuit, I think, because even in August, in the summertime, the water's about 68 degrees. So nothing you really want to go swimming in unless you just like the cold water. So anyway, I'm going to do a walk around town. Like I said, I paid the park, so we could stay here as long as we want. So I got a pretty good battery here. We should be good to go for a couple of hours even. So I'm going to take you guys on a complete tour of Helen, Georgia, and we'll see how this goes. I thought this might be interesting. Driving tours don't seem to get a lot of hits, but walking tours do. So I'm going to try this today and see if you guys like it. I'm going to narrate as I go. It's early in December. It does get busy here, but right now it's not too busy. The parking lot only about a quarter full, but as we get closer to Christmas, this will begin to get busier and busier out here. This is quite a Christmas town, if you will. And so there you go. What a cool place. And like I said, we're going to show it to you here. I'm going to take you guys on the walking tour here. This is, notice the locks. There's a whole story behind these locks. And they'll come out and remove all these locks and throw them in the garbage. It's something that started in this town, but the town doesn't like it. And so what the town has done is they've put up like a central location for locks, but it's just a big wall and everybody's lock gets lost on it somewhere. So people have started putting locks back down here again. It got so bad that they had to take the fence away up here. And when they took the fence away, they put up a block wall. So now you can't even see the river from under the bridge here. I have to admit, I was never really happy with the decisions that were made involving the locks. All these locks were put here with people's love, and then they were kind of just discarded. But you had to do something to wait on the bridge and things like that. But anyway, there you go. There's the river, up and down. I've eaten that restaurant over there about 4 or 5 times. My mom really loves the German food over there. Now, I don't eat a lot of German food myself, but they have American fare as well. It's a good restaurant anyway. Lots of bars here. As you can see, lots of different places. These are the restrooms here. They're like a public restroom. And that's kind of cool. The parking lot where I park in, the easiest way and the way we always come into town is we walk under that bridge. Yeah, the locks. People started putting them on and under the bridge, and the ones under the bridge weren't hurting anything, but the city here felt they were. So they went ahead and they removed all the locks and just threw them in the garbage. And I even released a video on it you can go find back on my channel. If you just type in Helen, Georgia, you will see the video that I did on it, and where I actually discuss how they took these locks that people put on the bridge because they love each other, and they locked that lock on the bridge, and the city just came and destroyed them. And I've always felt that it was terrible, that they should have been a way to save them, to utilize some method so that we could have preserved them, even if it was to cut them and then just glue them onto something. At least they would have survived. But instead, what the city of Helen did in its infinite wisdom is they built this thing over here that now everybody's lock is all stuck on this one big thing over here. And you can't find anything on it. The locks are all hanging. And of course, it's insufficient. It's full now, so the locks are hanging onto the locks. And it's, as you can see, it becomes a bit ridiculous. And the city of Helen, they've done some neat things. I mean, they've done a lot of really cool things to keep this town really neat. This lock thing was a debacle. It was an absolute debacle. I have several family members that put locks on the bridge, and their locks were cut, taken away, thrown away. And I even wrote letters to try to find out what happened to the locks, and they didn't respond to me. So it's typical government. They just they let it go and let it go and let it go and didn't do anything about it, didn't post any signs, didn't make any rules, didn't, change any structures or anything until it got to be too late. And then the only solution they had was to cut all of the locks completely off and discard them, and then build this structure here to allow people to come back and purchase a new lock at their gift stores. I see a pattern there. We're just going to cut all these. People bought all these locks in our gift stores, and then we're just going to cut them all off and make them come back and buy another lock in our gift store and put it back on the new thing here. And then eventually they'll probably get rid of this, and then you'll have to go back and buy another new lock at their gift stores, stick it on whatever the new structure is. I think it was a debacle. I really do. But that's the only negative thing I have about the town. I mean, if that's really the only negative thing you have about a place, I guess that's not so bad. But that's kind of the way I feel about this. It's been kind of a mess. Like I said, I wrote a kind of an angry video about it, put it up, because I felt at the time that it wasn't really right the way that they were just discarding people's tokens of love that were placed on the bridge legally. And see, I think that's very important. The locks were placed there legally. They were allowing it. It was with the blessings of the city that the locks were placed there. And then all of a sudden, the locks are no longer welcome there, and they just cut them all off. It was terrible. It was a terrible decision. And I hope they all got voted out, but I didn't really follow it to see what happened. Just like with a lot of other things, sometimes you just have to hold them accountable, and that's what you do. But other than that, this is a great place. That's my only negative take on this town, was the lock debacle, as I call it, lock gate. But other than that, there's really been no real negatives. This town has a lot of really cool things. They've got a lot of tributes here to the armed forces, as you can see. And this is a great little seating area here. They have bands and shows perform here, small shows in a public venue here. So that's kind of neat. And we're going to walk all across the other side too, so you're going to get to see it all while we're here. Notice everything is done up very Alpine style. I mean, everything is very Alpine style. And like I said, that's actually a requirement. If you were to build a building here, you would be required to put up whatever it is to make it. You'd have to pass, the board would have to say, yeah, that does looks Alpine, boom, we can put it up. Because that's what keeps this a really neat tourist place, is that all the buildings basically conform to this standard, no matter where you look. And they're all lit. Notice every one of them has lights for at night. And I have yet to see Helen at night, because if I'm here at night, that puts me an hour and 20 minutes from my cabin after dark, which I normally don't do. So there you go. Anyway, lots of really cool stores. I'm not going to go into stores because I would need to ask, and I'm not going to do that right now, unless I just happen to see somebody out at the corner that I can talk to. I don't want to make too big a deal for these people after watching First Amendment auditors and everything. I don't want to make people uncomfortable and have the cops out here trying to get my ID because they're not going to get it. All right. Here we go. This is the Swiss German Plaza. Let's take a walk down through here. T-shirt shops, jewelry shops, all kinds of. It is a tourist town. Yes, it's a tourist town. I mean, you know, you call it what it is, and then you enjoy what you got. But that's what this is. It's a tourist town, and I happen to like it. And I'm not big on tourist towns. Boy, they got enough lights there. That used to be like a knick-knack shop, and now it's no. I'm going to go down here and show you this is a really cool rock shop. Like I said, I'm not going to go in people's shops because I would need to ask permission to go on private property. I will if I get the opportunity, but I just want to show you the shops and stuff. If you're ever visiting this area, I mean, this is easy. It's fairly cheap. For $10, you can bring the whole family. You know, it's $10 to park, and that's pretty much it. Look at this place. Isn't that really cool in there? All kinds of really good gifts, neat keepsakes that you would... All right, sorry about that, guys. I hit the off button. All right, and you can see it goes way back in there. This is one of my favorite shops because they've got all kinds of rocks and minerals, and I'm really into natural rocks and minerals like quartz, stuff like that. I actually, like a lot of people are into diamonds. I happen to be into the larger crystals that are less expensive, thank God. I love quartz, smoky quartz, rose quartz. Amethyst is probably my favorite though. I really love amethyst. All right, this is kind of the alley behind town here. And see there's another paid parking lot. There is several of these paid parking lots. They're all about $10 a day. The one I use over there, they give you a ticket and you can actually come and go through the day. So it's pretty convenient if you're, you know, if you want to go down the street to fast food or something. There's a lot of restaurants here, but they're all sit down. They're a little more expensive. But, you know, when you're on vacation and you want to experience a town or something like that, then possibly it would be worth it to you to go sit down at one of the German restaurants. Lots of really cool stuff. Lots of keepsakes type stuff. That's what they do here. It's like a touristy place. You know, you want to buy something that you can take home to your family or show somebody that you were thinking about them on vacation. You know, that's the main thing. Sorry if I turn you guys suddenly. I try not to put the camera in people's face. I really do. I'm not doing an audit. All right. Don't forget to subscribe and like and all that good stuff. This week I'm on vacation, but starting back next week, we'll be live every night at 9 p.m. doing our multi-screen news and talk show right here on StarShip Adventures. But this week we're doing tours of different towns, and we're doing POTA, Parks on the Air with amateur radio. And I'm doing both of those functions this week while I'm up here on vacation. I'm probably going to do one or two more parks on the way home. I'll try to bring you guys along. The internet's been really bad today. I like this here. It's like a mountaintop or something. I love those trees up there. Really cool. There's Helen Square across the street. As you guys probably already know, in the mountains, motorcycles are pretty big. A lot of people come spend their vacations up here in the mountains so that they have a beautiful place to ride their motor down these beautiful roads up here. and the windy ass roads, and it's a lot of fun on a motorcycle or in a Porsche. It's not as much fun in a semi, I can tell you that. Yeah. And here you go. These are the candles I was telling you about. When I was 12 years old, I was in this town, and they were making these candles. That's not a very good picture, but they were making these hand-carved candles. They would dip it and then dip it, dip it and dip it and dip it and dip it in all the different colors over and over and over. And you end up with the candle at the end, and then they just cut the top off and pull the wick out, and there you go. It's a candle. And we watched them make a blue and white one that was just beautiful. And we bought it. We came back 2 hours later when it had cooled, and they let us take it home. And my mom had that candle for like 30 years till it finally just got so nasty she threw it out. And then about 25 years ago, 20 years ago, we were up here with friends, and we watched them make another one, and we bought it and put it at the cabin. It's just kind of one of those things, you know, we never burn them, we just buy them. But so I've had 2 of those different candles that were made here, right here in this shop, right up here on the right. Yep. Right in there. And like I said, I'm not going to go in people's businesses without permissions. All right. And here's another shot out the back. Beautiful place. Normally by this time of year, most all the leaves have already dropped. As you can see, some of them are still green. All the red oaks are beautiful red right now this time of year. And normally it had been a few weeks ago. We're actually just a little bit late. Things are running a little late this year. Which is weird because winter technically came on a little early this year. Now, this is one of the big fudge shops. This is the Hansel and Gretel fudge shop. I generally go in this one and buy gifts for people. This is one of the places I'll go in and buy gifts for people. They make the fudge right in there. I'm gonna walk back down and see if I can put you up to the window so you can see it. But this is all the Hansel and Gretel fudge shop. And you can see there, they sell fudge right there at the counter. All kinds of gift packages and stuff. I want you to see if I can get you in the window here. This is all the fudge shop. It's huge. Well, here we go. Look, that's where they make the fudge in there. I don't think they're actually making any right this minute, but that right there, those are the tables right there. That's where they actually make the fudge. And you can see them in there helping people at the counter. Anyway, that's what they do. Look at that. They're getting ready to make some more apples. And this is called the Hansel and Gretel Fudge Shop. Hansel and Gretel Fudge Shop, right there. And I recommend. It's expensive, but everything's expensive nowadays. There's your QR code if you scan your television. There you go. All right, so that's Hansel and Gretel Fudge Shop, one of my favorites. And like I said, this candle shop's one of my favorites too. It used to be down at the end on the left, but they've moved back into the back over here. I think it was cheaper. Oh, there goes the train. Hot pretzels. You guys, if you like that kind of stuff, like fair food, you know, the stuff that you don't find every day, there's a lot of that here. And of course, a lot of gifts at the gift shops too. Back in 5 minutes. There's a big fat Spider-Man. Yep, right in here is where the candle shop used to be. That used to be divided into 2 different stores. It's now in one. And in case you guys want to show you, if you look up Helen, Georgia, there's a couple of webcams that you can see. Live webcams. One of them looks from almost this view right here. And that's because it's right there where all the wasps are flying around up there. You see it? That's the webcam right there. That's one of the 2. And then the other one is way down there, just to the left of the bridge down there, shooting back this way. And so if you guys go to Helen, look up, Helen live webcams, you'll find those 2 really good webcams. If they're still up, I assume they are. I haven't looked them up in a while. But anyway, let's go over here and see what's going on.
So there's broad puppet.
Your pet too?
Does it have some oh.
There's the police. They're pretty cool around here. It's a tourist town. I don't know if you guys ever noticed, the cops are generally a lot cooler in tourist towns. Because being pricks to all the people doesn't seem to serve you well in a tourist town. But everywhere else it works fine. Okay, so here we go. This is like the little train depot here where the train goes. This is the restrooms on the other side of town. And that's it, guys. Where I walked in over there, and we're still going to go down the other side. I got a lot of stuff to show you guys, but where we went down under the bridge and came up and I showed you the restroom right there, that was the one end of town, and this is the other end of town. It's not all that big. It really isn't all that big. It is a really neat place, though. Look how beautiful it is here. Leaves are all changing.
Good.
And again, guys, I'm just trying not to put the cam in everybody's face. There's the train.
How we doing?
Pretty good. How you doing, sir?
Excellent.
See the windmill? Center picture. Cool bar, huh? It's not even open yet. It will be, though. Oh, there's a photo booth. Here's the Christmas shop. Oh, shoot, I should have brought one of my stickers. Man. Darn, I should have brought one of my stickers. The Christmas shop. You guys believe it's almost Christmas? I was, an ad came on yesterday on YouTube. I was just watching some of my First Amendment guys, and an ad came on, and it was like, ching, 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 ching. I'm like, oh shit, it's Christmas, I forgot. Oh. Kind of surprised me for a second, but it didn't last long. There we go. Aren't these cool places? That's a hotel back there you can stay at. I just love this town. I'll walk another block and then I'm going to cross the street and I'm going to come back the other side and then we'll walk all the way back up the other side. There's quite a bit to see over there. There's some really neat rock shops and stuff over there. So I've come here probably, if I had to put like a stupid number on it, like totally like try to guess right, I would say 35 times, 40 times I've been here. And I'm not exaggerating. I started coming here when I was 9 or 10 years old. We would take 2-week vacations up here in the mountains in mid-July just to get out of the heat in Florida. It was just to get out of the heat in Florida. That's all we were doing it for. And we would come spend 2 weeks up here in the mountain, just going 2 or 3 days in each park, and then just going and moving right on to the next one. We would stay all over the mountains up here in Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee, and even a little bit in South Carolina. Passing on a double yellow line, and then she had the audacity to honk. Another really cool bar. They got really cool bars here. The nightlife here must be great. I've never been here at night. I love those ceiling fans. Look at them cool ceiling fans. Tell me that ain't some neat shit. Little heaters and stuff. Neat little place there. But yeah, the nightlife here must be something else, because there's a lot of bars. I like the lights. Oh, here's the little grocery store. This is like a grocery store in Delhi right here. I've gone in there before. I mean, you can buy like regular stuff in there, but it's also kind of got a lot of like touristy stuff in there too. It's kind of like, it's almost like a Circle K and a Knick Knack Shock all in one. Food, lots of food type gift stuff. Really neat place. Really cool. I want to give you guys a better shot of this. This is the hotel across the street here. I'm gonna water across the street so that I can show you better. Here we go. Look up there. That's the Heidi Hotel. That's the Heidi Hotel. Isn't that cool? You could stay there. Isn't that a neat place? They got like little cottages and little places to stay, multiple buildings. Really cool. It's right next to the doggone coffee place.
That's it. That's right there. There's you up there. Not up there.
All right, there's not too much more. This is it. This is the end of town. There's a church and a few things down there, a couple of hotels, but I'm not going to walk any further. That's pretty much the end of town right there. So I'm 1 block from the crosswalk, so I can cross here legally as soon as there's not cars coming. All right, we're going to go back in here. This is a neat little gift shop here. I actually was buying fire department memorabilia stuff in there a long time ago. And look at that, a trailer with beer taps. You mean you can't beat that with a stick, right? Ooh, look at this cool little place back. Look at all the potted plants up there on that second floor. Isn't that cool? Now that place here, I'll give you a little history. It's this place here that you're looking at in the windows. That place burned about 30 years ago. And it burned pretty bad through the roof there. But they were able to save it. And I want you to look. You probably can't see it on the camera. But if you look up inside, above those 2 little windows up there, you can see that the wood is burnt. It's alligatored up in there. Yeah. It only takes a fireman to come up with something like this. But I can see 3 or 4 spots on this building where you can still see where they saved that spot, and there was a little bit of alligator wood or whatever left. And but this entire thing here burned, and it was mostly the 2nd and 3rd floor. And they built it back. I think a lot of this stuff on the 1st floor here survived. And like I said, if you look up there, you can actually see there was a fire. I mean, because that part right there was survived the fire, and they kept it. They just painted over all the stuff you could pretty much see. Anyway, stupid trivia. Achpa. Whatever. I pronounce everything wrong. See, if I pronounce everything wrong, then you guys get used to it, and then pretty soon you never know if I'm right or wrong. It's just like, oh, okay, here he goes again. It's an ATM machine. What do they call those in Europe? I forgot the name of it. Forgot the name of it. Anybody that watches Doctor Who would know that. Hey Tara, hey, no problem. I love doing it. I'm normally up here with family or friends or somebody. Today I'm up here with you guys, so you'll have to qualify as you are my friends here on YouTube, and so this is cool. This is literally, I don't want to sound crazy, but this is the first time I've ever been up here and spent a week by myself. It's a little strange, but it's not so bad. I do miss being with folks, but I also enjoy the freedom of picking where I want to eat every day.
Holy furry.
Carlotta just said, yeah, I bet he does. There's Helen Square. And you can see there's several shops down through the alleyway there. There's a lot more shops than the ones right out here on the road. If you're really into this town and you started going in every shop, it would take you the better part of the day. I mean, it'd take you the whole day. You can see, come around the corner here. That's where I'm parked, right over there. And then these are just a bunch more shops along here. There's a sock shop. I thought it was a rock shop, but no, not a rock shop, a sock shop. Because you gotta have those too. Little shops. So there you go. Just cross over here. All right. Here we go. They put these signs up a few years ago. I guess they kind of help if you're looking for something specific. And there's that beautiful sky. I know the camera don't do it no good, but most of you probably don't live in Florida, so you know what a blue sky actually looks like. Tattoo, body piercing. You could have your whole body done here in one day. That's a neat shop there. It's like, wait a minute. No, it's changed. That's different now. That was like a leather and lace shop, like biker stuff. And now it's something totally different. Natural body art. So,
that's funny, don't please let you know what's up. I'm not good, but after.
Did I mention that Sasquatch was big in the mountains? I mean, you think it's big in Florida with the skunk ape, and probably big where you're from. Well, it's big up here too. A lot of people claim to see the thing up here. It's kind of one of those things where, it's one of those mysteries that should be answered by now and wasn't. And I honestly believe that the reason that this mystery is so prevalent that 10,000 people a year claim to see this thing, and yet we never find bones, we never find a body, we never find anything. And why is that? Because it's extratemporal or extra dimensional. Or it could be extraterrestrial, although I doubt that. I think we're seeing into the distant past through a rip in time. And that's why we suddenly see them and suddenly they're gone and there's never any evidence of them being here. Because what we're basically seeing is proto-humans to a rip in time. So I think that's kind of a neat thing. It's the only thing, in my opinion, that explains the fact that we have these things, everybody's seeing them, and yet we've never found them. There has to be an explanation. The explanation at extra-dimensional, extra-temporal, extraterrestrial just pick one of the extras and go with it because that's very good. All right, so let's move on. A TARDIS. Thank you. I knew somebody would get that little piece of trivia there. A European phone booth is called a TARDIS. It's very much like a, they call the umbrella a bumper chute. It's kind of the same thing. Yeah, we got their language, but we've messed it all up apparently. This is a cool one. This is a glass blowing shop, and they literally blow the glass in there. This is public in here, so I think I can walk in here without any trouble. Move the camera over a little bit for you guys. Just give me a second to let these folks go by. All right, so. I don't know if my mom's watching out there, but Mom, do you remember that spot right there? Okay, just asking. Look at these. Aren't they cool? Like Christmas. Very, very cool. This is a neat little shop in here. It's kind of like a indoor mall, a little indoor mall in here. And there's access to a bunch of different shops. 6 different shops in here. They do the old-timey pictures back there. A lot of people like to get those when they go out of town. Get the old-timey picture done, which is kind of cool.
Okay, it wasn't.
Yeah, the trunk of a car is a boot. Oh, you're from Sweden and you came here?
I'm sorry.
It's almost like visiting a cheap knockoff version of your hometown, isn't it? Just kidding, kind of. It must be beautiful over there is what I'm getting at. There's another big shop down there. We always go through this one because it actually exits us back by the car where we parked. But I'm not quite ready to go yet. We're going to go over the bridge and come back over on the other side. Here comes the train, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the train. There you go. There's the train. On train. Oh, yeah. I can sing the blues. You guys didn't know that, did you? All right. Trust me, I could sing the blues. People keep stealing the Christmas light bulbs. I don't think I really understand that exactly. They got them at Walgreens. All right. As I told you before, we used to eat quite a bit in that restaurant right over there. It's a great shot of the river here going underneath the bridge. No, I have no plans of quitting my day job. I left me bumper shoot in me boot. Bloody hell. Hello. Hello, I left me bumper shoot in me boot. Hello. Can you help me? You got a bumper shoot? I left me bumper shoot in me boots. Hello. I'm in one of those weird moods, guys. I'm swinging today. No, not in the good way. Let's cross. Oh, here they finally put signs up. No locks on the bridge. No locks on the bridge. No locks on the bridge. I would love to see in there. I bet it looks really cool in there. It's like a restaurant. I've never eaten there. It's like a nice sit down. I'm generally too cheap for that shit. All right, here, let's get a look at the other side of the creek. The sun side, of course. There you go. And like I said, if this were a few months ago, you'd be seeing rafters and inner tubers flying down this stretch of creek right here. But right now, for two reasons. One, it's winter. The air temperature is cool. The water temperature is cold. But number two, the height of the water is down enough that it might be a little dangerous. I don't know. The water level has to be at a certain height for it to be for it to work. You know. All right. Let's see what we got here. Yeah, I've proposed a long time ago to quit calling them French fries. I mean, we eat them more than they do. It's just a potato cooked in oil. Can't we just call them fries? I don't call them French fries. I call them fries. Do you have fries? That's what I ask every time I walk into a Firehouse Subs or a Subway. You got fries? No? Oh, darn. I was wanting to eat here. Oh, well. I will admit, though, I went to Firehouse Subs. Being a retired fire chief, I went to Firehouse Subs for the very first time the other day with Heath and some of the buddies from some of the friends I made up at the Ham Fest. And I'm going to tell you guys something. That's the best sub I ever put in my mouth. And I'm not a sub guy, not a sandwich guy. Definitely not. But I call it like I see it. I got a ham, turkey, and bacon club sub in there with, of course, no salad on it. And I got to tell you guys, it was really, really good. It was the best sub I've ever ate in my life. I don't just say stuff like that because most subs suck. I don't like them. That was a good sub. I'm going to eat at Firehouse Subs again. I, of course, thought it was expensive, but every place is expensive now. I have to always qualify that. I thought it was expensive, but no more expensive than going to Subway. And yeah, so I was very, very, very happy with it, with the sandwich there. So kudos to Firehouse Subs. I mean, there's some firemen that retired and got together and did an entrepreneurial venture there. And a lot of what they make there goes into philanthropy for the fire department and its services and things like that. And for the services that are provided to its members. Let's go through here. We didn't go through here last time. Isn't this cool? These are all little candy shops, fudge shops. Most of them make all their own stuff. Knives, knives, knives. They got duck jerky. I bet it's greasy. All right, guys. And this is a neat little hotel over there, over on the other side there. You can see 3-story hotel. That would be a really cool place to stay. It's got all the rooms and everything. Every room has a porch out on the little creek here. All right, there you go. There's your tour to Helen. And what a neat place. I really like this little town. It's a cool town. It's a tourist trap. Yes. Okay. Copy that. You know, it's one of those things where you know what something is, you still want to go there. You know, it is what it is. It's a tourist trap. Is it a tourist trap? Sure. Yeah, it's a tourist trap. No problem. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Live from Helen, Georgia. My name's Ian. This is StarShip Adventures, and the adventure continues. Thank you for being here today. We'll see you on the next. Bye now.